want to go now to the latest on the pandemic. Big news today, closed again. Starting Monday, indoor dining in New York City will be off the table indefinitely. Outdoor dining, though, and takeout will continue. But this is why statewide COVID hospitalizations are surging. If you take a look, more than 5,000 right now. That's almost 4,000 more than just a month ago. What's fueling the surge? Well, the governor says it's small gatherings. The gyms and nail salons are not as big of a concern right now due to the strict capacity limits. And this all comes as all major indicators for the city have surpassed the thresholds for concern. Mayor de Blasio has said we are now in a second wave. We have News 4's Andrew Siff following this all for us tonight. He's live in Elmhurst with some new details, Andrew, on the vaccine distribution here in the city.
Right, Natalie, amid all this concern about the rise in COVID cases and the rise in hospitalizations, there is encouragement as well. The vaccine is expected any day now in New York City and other parts of New York State, although we don't know exactly when and who will get the first shots. We believe it'll be sometime next week.
Hospitals like this one have cold storage freezers ready, with New York State now approving Pfizer's vaccine. The vials due to arrive any day, and City Hall opening a command center in this building on Broadway in Lower Manhattan.
The Vaccine Command Center is going to be the go-to location to make sure that the vaccine distribution is fast and effective and fair.
Mayor de Blasio putting Deputy Mayor Melanie Hartzog in charge of solving distribution problems.
An example of this could be as vaccines are not showing up to a certain community site. The command center would work directly with the provider on tracking down additional vaccines or directing patients to another location.
Meanwhile, hospitals hoping the vaccine arrives quickly enough to blunt the impact of COVID cases.
This is what we've been praying for. This is what we've been hoping for. This is the light out of the tunnel.
But today in Albany, Governor Cuomo cautioned it'll be months before enough people are immune to coronavirus.
Between today and June, that is a long 6 months.
The governor so concerned about rising COVID rates now, he's ordered an end to indoor dining in the city starting Monday.
We're asking everyone to hold on. You know, the end is in sight.
But still open gyms and beauty salons. The reason? State contact tracers found minimal spread there. Instead, out of 46,000 pieces of COVID data, the state found 74% connect back to small indoor gatherings. If that continues, this warning from Cuomo.
If we see that we're on a glide path towards overwhelming the hospitals, you have no choice but to close down the economy.
For restaurants, the hit could be devastating for an industry still reeling from the first wave.
With this news, it's another like 6 hours of figuring out how we're going to make it through next week.
And once again, vaccines due to arrive at hospitals like this one in the next few days, and the first group of folks who will get their vaccinations include the frontline healthcare workers as well as staff and residents of nursing homes. Live at Elmhurst Hospital in Queens, Andrew Siff, News 4 New York.
All right, Andrew, covering it all for us. Thank you for that. And even though we knew this would happen, struggling New York City restaurant owners are, of course, not happy about today's news regarding indoor dining. Some say this really could be the final nail in the coffin. News 4's Gabi Acevedo live in Hell's Kitchen tonight, where owners, Gabi, of course, they're facing some tough decisions now.
Natalie, we sense lots of anger and frustration in our search for impressions around Hell's Kitchen, but also empathy from neighbors who fear that many around here may potentially lose their jobs during the holidays. Come Monday, this indoor dining sign at Tacuba will be coming down indefinitely, much to the chagrin of neighbors around Hell's Kitchen who are committed to supporting local restaurants.
I do my best to support them as best I can. All of us here, we're trying our hardest to support them and keep them going.
Regular customers, they're helping us a lot. Like Hell's Kitchen has been really, really nice to us. Like people around the area, they've been helping us a lot.
Camilo Cortez has been serving as host at this Mexican joint for the past 2 years. He remembers how most of his staff had to search for other means of income at the peak of the pandemic.
Working on construction or delivery or things like that.
Finding other jobs.
Yeah, trying to find something else to get through these times.
And now, tough times ahead. Many looking at the weather forecast to make decisions regarding outdoor dining.
How it's going to be the weather next week, for example. It's going to snow like in 2 days or something. So we don't know just yet, but hopefully we'd still have the outdoor dining and we still have the takeout and the delivery too.
Still, people around the neighborhood are frustrated that this iconic restaurant hub is paying the price with indoor dining shut down when the surge in COVID-19 cases is mostly related to private house gatherings. The main concern around Hell's Kitchen having to lay off employees during the holiday season.
Before all of this, it was like, yeah, I would say more than 20. But now, like 10 to 15, maybe less than that.
All things considered, people are imploring for a safety net that can help small businesses stave off disaster after at least a third of the restaurants and bars in the city have closed down.
We need it, and I don't know why the government is sitting on their hands and not doing what they're supposed to do to help us.
On that same note, in his briefing today, Governor Cuomo insisted that federal government needs to step in and provide some type of stimulus relief for these small businesses, or else the economic fallout could be catastrophic. Reporting live from Hell's Kitchen, Gabi Acevedo, News 4 New York.
All right, Gabi, thank you. Let's talk about vaccines now. Governor Cuomo announced that 170,000 initial doses of the Pfizer vaccine are really expected any day now. The week of December 21st, 346,000 doses of the Moderna vaccine will be here, then distributed once approved. New Jersey coming down hard on restaurants and bars for violating COVID-19 restrictions. We understand that 10 businesses are getting their liquor licenses pulled for flouting those rules. Some suspended just over a week, but one bar won't be able to serve patrons for close to 4 months. The George Street Ale House in New Brunswick now faces a 25-day suspension. The owner told us the restaurant was cited for serving someone a cup of water. He also admitted the karaoke singer was there performing without a mask.
By the way, it gives me no pleasure, any of us, any pleasure to file these charges. It's the last thing, frankly, we want to do.
Honestly, in this environment, the liquor license thing for 10 or 20 days isn't what the big deal that it would be in a normal environment.
In the cup of water, that situation had to do with going up to the bar. Now, Governor Murphy describes the 10 liquor license suspensions as surgical, saying that New Jersey is not yet in danger of shutting down indoor dining, as New York City and Pennsylvania must now do. Well, New Jersey still seems to be the trouble spot, though, in the tri-state. If you look at the numbers here, hospitalizations are up, but the positivity rate there has slipped below 10%. In New York, the positivity rate has dropped below 5%. In Connecticut, the positivity rate up. Hospitalizations are down slightly.